It was all fun and games when they were interfering with you. It was all fun and games when they were picking on you and treating you like the lame one and treating you in a generic way. It was all fun and games, and they made themselves out as the popular ones, just having fun, messing with who they felt was small. Oh, that was their fun. It was all fun and games when you were trying to build something and they come in and intrude upon it and tear it down. That was all fun and games. See, they had a dynamic about things. They had roles about things. It was their role to be the popular one, and in order to stay popular, they had to keep beating down who they felt like was outside of their group. They had to keep beating down who they felt like was small and who would take it and who didn't have any recourse or anyone to back them up. They were bullies, but they didn't want to call themselves bullies. They wanted to see themselves as popular. Oh, they're just being popular, and this is what popular people in the know do. But they would never want the tables turned on them. They would never want to be the one shamed. They would never want to be the one trying to build something and you come in and try to tear it down. No, they would make you tear your name down, trash your name, treat you like, oh, look at this bad person, messed up something good of theirs. But when they mess your stuff up over and over and over, who do you have to turn to? They know you don't really have anybody to turn to. And see, that's why they mess with you. They pick on people who they know could be the silent victim. They pick on people who they feel like can take it or will allow them to feel big over them. See, there's sometimes people who they try to identify with the bully, and so they'll just go along with the whole generic term and call themselves nerds and all of that stuff. And it's their way of just trying to identify with the bully, because the bully comes in packs and they like to really wear the other person down. I don't really believe in nerds. I don't believe in generic people. I don't believe in lame people. If we're all created in the image and likeness of God, God wouldn't want you thinking that way of yourself, and he doesn't believe in that either. He would never want you to consider yourself as lame or generic or a nerd when you are made in the image and likeness of him. See, these people, they came at you as if they're gonna make themselves seem like the prize, and they were going to make themselves shine over you and beat you down and stomp you down. There was something special about you. There was something unique about you that they did not have. I keep going back to this. And that is why they picked on you. It wasn't so much that you were lame or generic or nerdy. Those are words of the enemy, and I cast it off of you. That's what they labeled you, to justify abusing you, to justify and feel good in themselves about tearing you down, because they tried to make you seem inhuman or less than them. So it was okay to pick on you. But they wouldn't pick on somebody that they felt like was on their level or anybody in their group. They wouldn't do that person that way. But because they felt like you didn't count as much and your life wasn't as worth as much, they felt like, oh, they could do that to you. They are completely wrong. See, this is the thing about bullies and about those who run in packs. They can never see their own faults. They can never take accountability for their own selves, and they need somebody to project on. And so the good person, oh, that's someone to project on. It's just the same as when people would sin in biblical times. They would look for a bull or some kind of a goat to pass their sins on to. And so they see this pure person, this good-hearted person, and they want to pass off of their generic energy. They want to pass off everything they don't like about themselves onto this other person, project it onto this other person. And now they get to feel like they're the live person and they're the popular, interesting person. They're shallow inside. That's people who do that are shallow inside. Never identify with a bully. Resist them. Resist the enemy and he shall flee. Resist the enemy. Resist their comments and they shall flee. Don't try to identify with it and start acting in some jinky way just because they want to come around and make you feel jinky. Don't feed into that. Resist that and walk away from them. Don't feed into their ego, because they need someone to feed into their ego in order to feel powerful. See, you're the one who's giving them the power every time you feed into their ego. Every time you laugh at a joke that they make against you, you're boosting their ego. You're empowering them. Don't laugh at any joke they make against you. And then they want to say, oh, you don't have humor. You don't know how to take a joke. No, it's not a joke. It's not a joke when they make fun of you and want you to laugh at yourself. They would never want you to make a joke of them and they laugh at themselves. They would never want the tables turned. No, because the power comes from you being the small one. That's why they keep coming around. You know, if they got it all together, they wouldn't need anyone to beat down. In fact, they would be trying to uplift you. They would be trying to uplift someone and not finding someone to tear down. Some people, they just never grow out of being a bully because they never knew how to fill that void that was inside them. They never knew how to face their own faults. These are people who have problems facing the fact that they have faults. So they got to find someone with open flaws, someone who acknowledges their own flaws to then project even more flaws onto, because they don't see themselves as having any wrongs. They don't see their flaws. You know, they have to be acting like they're so pristine and they're just the best of the best. And they don't acknowledge their flaws. They don't acknowledge that they're capable of making a mistake, or that they could be wrong, or that they could actually be the lame one. They don't acknowledge any of that because in their book, they're perfect. They see themselves as perfect. They cannot face their shame. They cannot face the fact that they have insecurities. They have shortcomings. They don't know how to face it. And they see you facing your insecurities and facing any problems of your life face on. And you're growing and adjusting. And the more you grow and adjust, the more they come around as ready to beat you down. Oh, this person has come up a little. We got to make sure we keep them down and keep them in their place. No. Stop feeding in. Stop thinking that, oh, they're the big popular ones. Stop trying to get into their group. Don't even desire to get into their group. I never desired to get into popular people's groups who I see were bullies. I never wanted to be in their group. I liked being outside of their group. I liked being somewhat invisible. Just don't bother me. Just don't even come near me. Just stay in your own lane and let me be in my own lane. And they wanted me to be impressed with them. I was not impressed with them. I was never impressed with them. Be impressed with yourself. And this may not be for everybody, but it is for somebody. Because there has been a lot of bullying going on. A lot of bullying in school. People losing their lives because of being bullied so much. Committing suicide. People shooting up schools because they were bullied so much. People going around beating up their significant other because they were so bullied through school. It messes with people. It messes people up when they've been messed with so much and they never had any relief from it. They never had anyone to go to about what they were going through. They never had one they could talk to about what they were going through. So when they get in relationships, they unleash it onto the person next to them. They never knew how to deal with it. And see, this is what bullies do. They mess people's lives up, and then they go off feeling like the more important one, the more valuable one. And then they look at you as the messed up one because they projected all their toxicity on the good person. No, don't let people like that mess up your life. Don't even care about their popularity. Don't even care about how important they come across, and they want you to be impressed with the fact that someone like them is talking to someone like you. Get that out of here. Get out of here with that. No, I don't even go for that. And I resist that with everything in me. And they look at me like I'm supposed to be impressed with them. I'm not impressed with them. They try to, in every way, shape, and form, try to get me to look down on myself. I'm not going to look down on myself. This stuff makes me so angry because all through my life I was resisting that stuff, and they couldn't understand how could I resist them. How could someone burnt like me resist trying to be in their group? I never wanted to be in their group. I knew what they were about. I knew what kind of spirit was in them, and I just didn't like it. I did not like that they had to build themselves up off of tearing someone else down. I did not like it. I would rather just be with my small group of friends who I knew was true friends, who I seen had a good heart, and be with them. I could care less about who was popular. I ran track. I did extracurricular activities after school. You know, I was on the flag corps team. You know, and we did our exercises during halftime, during the football games. So people looked at me like, oh, you could actually try to move up into the popular group. I didn't want it because I saw what kind of spirit they had, and I didn't like it. I liked just being with the people who I knew were true. Don't try to be in someone's clique. Don't desire to be in their clique. Leave them alone. Let them dry up on their own. And you go on with your life. You have a lot of life to live. You have so much to give. Go on with your life and be well.